Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Megan, and this channel is all about the Immanuel approach. Learning and practicing perceiving the presence of Immanuel, God with us every moment, through gratitude and appreciation. It's such a beautiful way to live, and it's absolutely life transforming. I'm really excited about today's topic. I would love to talk to you about the pain processing pathway as formulated by Dr. Carl Lehman, the founder of the Immanuel approach, and his colleague, Dr. Jim Wilder. So have you ever had something painful happen and realize that you feel activated or triggered even years later? A small reminder might touch on that thing and you're like, ow, there's something there. And this is very normal. Most of us have had this experience, and it's not because you're broken. It's actually because your brain has not fully processed the pain. And I think it's incredible that our brain actually has a pain processing pathway, a way of processing these things. Because what actually happens is oftentimes we get stuck in our pain and it doesn't get fully processed. So today I want to explain this pathway in very simple terms and share one gentle way that you can begin healing your painful experiences right now using Immanuel journaling. So when we bump into pain or a hard experience, our body naturally does want to process this pain so that it doesn't stay like an open wound and reactivating. And when the process is complete, and then we can remember and look back on this painful experience without being completely overwhelmed by it. The memory actually becomes integrated. And I've heard it said more like wisdom than a wound. But when processing gets stuck, that memory stays loaded, and later it can get triggered. And so old pain spills into today. It feels really fresh when actually it's probably a past wound that hasn't been attended to or healed. So one simple way to say it is that the pain often becomes trauma when we feel alone in it. So healing usually begins with connection. And this is a central tenet of the Immanuel approach. Healing begins with connection. We never force anything. We never force ourselves to relive anything. And we only look at painful experiences through a place of connection. And that's why this approach, the Immanuel approach, is so powerful. We start with God with us, and then we approach pain from that safe, connected place. So the pain processing pathway is like a simple ladder with 5 levels, and these are brain levels. I'm just going to use these names, and later in later videos, I will talk a little more in depth about each level. But this is just kind of a overview. So level 1 is attachment to people. And this is simply, am I alone or is someone with me? So level 1, attachment to people. Level 2 is attachment to the experience and the emotion. Can I stay present with what I'm feeling without shutting down or getting swept away? And can I stay present to the experience? So it's attachment to the experience or the emotion. That's level 2. Level 3 is attunement. Is someone there who really gets me and understands and can stay with me emotionally? Isn't that amazing? Level 4 is sense of identity. who am I in this? What is it like me to do? Or what does this touch in me? And then level 5 is simply making sense or finding meaning. What does this mean about me, about God, about my future? That's just a brief helicopter view of the 5 levels. And what's beautiful is that there are many different ways to hit on every level of processing this pain. One way is what I talk about all the time is through an Immanuel prayer session, but Immanuel journaling is another way that can hit all of these levels. And I'm actually excited because I will be in the future videos interviewing someone who's created a way to hit all of these 5 levels and train us how to be in conversation with people who are experiencing a hard, painful thing. I'm really excited about that. So a lot of us just try to jump straight to meaning, level 5, meaning and perspective. Let me try to figure this out. And what's interesting is level 5 is the left brain. It's the analytical part. It's the logical part. Let me try to find meaning. The first 4 levels, level 1 through 4, is actually our right brain. And so we often just try to go right to our left brain, but we need to process through our right brain first. And so if level 1 or level 2 still says, you know, I'm alone, or this is too much for me, and you shut down, your system won't be able to get to meaning yet. And so often healing looks like moving through this pathway in order to stay with, starting with connection. It's not like a specific order, like you must go level 1, then level 2, level 3, but definitely we don't jump straight to 5, level 5. We meander through the first 4 levels to touch on those so that the process can begin to happen. So I would love to share a story from my own life because this is what prompted this whole video. And I've been just so delighted to share with you and touched. So this is something that's honestly surprised me. So one of my practices at the end of the year, before I jump into a new year, is I read through my past journal. So I was reading through my 2025 journal. And as I flipped through, I kept seeing these entries about an ongoing painful experience, something that had been with me for a while. And I could tell exactly what I felt in the moment. I felt alone. I felt abandoned. I felt unseen. And it wasn't just one entry. I had journaled about it multiple times. But here's what surprised me. As I was reading, so I'm reading back, right? I did a quick internal check. Okay, so how much pain do I feel around this right now? And I realized I had no pain around this ongoing painful experience. And I just sat there really amazed. And of course, started dialoguing with Immanuel about it. Because I definitely remember it was a very painful experience, triggering some of my level 1 and level 2 attachment pain that I am working through. And so I just was so stunned, So I had been doing Immanuel journaling, and without even noticing it, I had processed that painful experience with Immanuel. So it doesn't mean that the situation wasn't hard, difficult, painful. However, it meant that I was not alone in it. I was not alone. And when I look back, I really sense that I felt held and I felt loved in that moment. Wow. And it was one of those moments just recently where I realized I had been processing this pain in real time, like in real life. I love it. So I have an Immanuel journaling video that can talk you through how to begin this beautiful interaction with the living, tangible presence of Immanuel, this connection. And so I definitely will link that video so that you can begin your Immanuel journaling time with Jesus. But honestly, you could even start right now with gratitude and appreciation to find that connection. You could pray something like, Jesus, thank you that you're with me. Help me to be aware of your presence. Help me to notice one true thing that I appreciate right now. And you just start writing, Immanuel, I just appreciate, for me right now, I just appreciate the twinkling star that is outside my bathroom window, twinkling at me and getting my attention. And right now I notice, you can notice sensations in your body. You can just begin to appreciate, and then you simply just wait for his response. What is his response to your gratitude? And you listen and you journal his response. And then you can, once you feel in that connected place, you can definitely begin to think through this painful experience that you might be experiencing. What do you want me to know about this experience? The beautiful thing is that Immanuel always, always, always is glad to be with us in our pain and in our difficulties. And so you can just even start right now and listening to his response. What does he see? What does he hear in you? How does he want to meet with you? What does he have for you in this moment? So that's basically what happened in my journaling process. Again and again, over time, I just kept talking to the Lord about it, journaling to the Lord about it. And over time, I realized the pain had been processed. Is that incredible? And so let's say that someone has felt unseen for a really long time. And now these moments, small moments, can trigger these big emotions. They might discover that they feel alone, which is level 1. They might feel that this emotion is too big for me and I want to shut down. That's level 2. Level 3, I don't feel understood. There's no one that really understands. That's level 3. You start questioning your identity. I believe I don't matter. That's level 4. And then I just assume that God won't show up for me here. That's level 5. So Immanuel journaling and Immanuel prayer sessions and the Immanuel lifestyle helps us stay connected while each layer gets addressed. And so this is why I'm such a huge champion of this lifestyle, so that the meaning can change in a way that our whole system, our whole body, and our whole brains can actually receive. And so I just want to say 2 quick notes for guardrails, gentle guardrails. If you're working through intense trauma, I highly suggest that you work through this with a trained facilitator or guide at a pace that keeps you regulated. We never force it. We never go digging around in any painful experience. The goal is connection and gentle processing. And so in the next videos, I am going to talk about each level and what it looks like when you get stuck and how you can move through your pain. And if you would like to comment below, only to the level of your comfort, Which one do you relate to most? Feeling alone, or feeling overwhelmed by the emotion, feeling unseen or stuck in identity, being hard on yourself, or stuck in meaning? And if this video was helpful, subscribe, and I'll keep it simple and practical per the usual with a lot of repetition, because the repetition is the mother of all learning. I almost got that backwards. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all, and we'll see you soon.